Hi, welcome at the University in Antwerp, Belgium. This is a work PC, and if I can avoid it, I will work on ArcoLinux and not on Windows. But here's another video how to update. So you see is this red thing here, it's PAMIC AUR, it's coming from Manjaro by the way, and it's been developed there, and thanks to the AUR Arch user repository we can get it in as well. Now F12 is, I suppose, not yet working because Ctrl-T, this is a machine that's, well, it carries the name, the reference 1909. So it's September, and this time it's November. So I'm going to update the system. It's always interesting to see videos and see whatever comes across, what it throws to us, we'll just figure it out. So to update, there are lots of tutorials on ArcoLinux.com. It has a specific category called update. Go check them. There's an alias that actually says update. What it does, it's going to get everything from ArcoLinux and ArcoLinux. And we've done some reorganizations in the sense that we just renamed something. So the only thing ever you have to say to the system is always yes. If it goes wrong, if you say no, just maybe write it down or make a copy, a screenshot, so you know what you've done. But it's always yes. Never do anything else. You don't need to type yes. You can actually also say enter, because the capital Y, and the Y is capital, which means that an enter, that's the one you're going to put in there. So just say yes, yes. A lot of things have changed. There is a sense in the madness. There is a logic in there, and that's because as of November, we can install all 15 desktops on one system. We can have the possibility to switch around things, and that's because we renamed, rearranged things, and split things up, and so on. So now we have the liberty, the freedom to radiate out. This is an XFC OpenBox i3 thing, but if I would like, it would be so easy to install BSPWM on it, or i3 is already there, Qtile, and so on and so on. So it's easy now these days to actually just get desktops in and play around with them. At some point in time you'll have a preference, and then you just say, okay, I'm going to take ArcoLinux B XFC, for instance. This is normal, but it's also interesting, the PGP keys. So packages are signed and they have a key, and all you have to press is of course yes, but it's important to start reading about that, because key rings and key problems will arrive because people won't exist anymore. Christian is now available, is now working, but maybe at some point in time his key will vanish, he will change his key, and so on and so on. So key things are important. Ctrl-T. If there is a key issue, always get the Arch, start typing Arch, and then tap, and here you see Arch Linux keyring. Get that in first, and then all the gigabytes of updates, because these things change over time. The key rings, who made the packages, who will not make the packages anymore in the future. So there are new keys in, you need to get them in, and the old have to get out. So this is a long list of all the disabling keys we just saw here. So signing new keys, disabling old keys, and that makes our system secure, this key signing thing. So go and have a look on Arch Wiki and read about that. Now the ArcoLinux stuff starts, and that's pretty specific, I think, and that's this shell. Now every Linux distribution uses shell, that's not specific, but we put our configurations in there, and we have an alias that's called shell that's gonna copy paste everything from the etc shell to your home directory, which will overwrite your own settings. So beware, there is of course a tutorial on ArcoLinux.com to get to the bottom of that, and then make sure that you don't overwrite your own stuff. There is also no need to do that on a weekly basis or daily basis. It just depends if you have the time and the need to say, let's see what's in my etc shell and what I have, right? So for instance, what will happen is we'll make a new alias. If the new alias is in etc shell, you can't use it. The bash RC needs to be replaced. So that means that the package that's in the file that's in etc scal needs to be copy pasted over to yours. So that's where the aliases come in handy. The scal, the backup scal, the CB, stuff like that. We'll probably use it later on. Every distribution has its own quirks and its own learning curve. So to avoid frustrations, I urge you to at least look one of these updating videos, so you know what happens when you do update, when you do up all, when you do backup scal, when you do CB. These are important aliases for you to avoid frustrations. Let's pause the video here. It's installing. And we're back with a nice, beautiful wallpaper, right? You would want to see that. Update is done. There are probably going to be very important things in there, so we need to reboot anyway. But the first thing is what you do is do a scal. Now, if you don't want to lose your stuff, it's super simple. Control H. And the only thing that matters is this one. So Control C, Control V is actually the only thing you need to do. Make sure you have a copy of your own settings. Just take it all, right? There are of course a few files, a few folders that you need, but never mind. Just take the complete config, and Melt will show you the differences in a bit. Now the backup scal, we've done it. We have not done it before, but there is a folder in here, you see, and that's the result of a backup scal command. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna first do a backup scal, so you see what's gonna happen. Backup scal gives us a different folder here. So I'm comparing, oh my god, January, I read it correctly, the 11th January and November. So that's quite a big difference of what's in there. So this is what we've done in 10 months, right? 10 months time. Great. So this is what you can do to learn what has changed in 10 months time. And this is all the difference. This is the difference between a scal at one point in time and a scal at another point in time. Conkeys were there, new images came in, etc., etc., right? This is very educational. You know immediately what changed between one thing and the other thing, right? Like the settings ini problem, probably. We started back then with Sardi Monocolora. Everything was gray. Now we have Sardi Arc, and in the future we'll have Surfing. Which I make my point with that is that it doesn't matter. Change the icons any way you see fit. It's unimportant what the icons are. Choose an icon theme you like. Okay, so we have a backup scal to learn from. So that's why the backup scal. And then how to get the data from A to B, from etc scal to home directory. It's easy, just do a scal. So now everything that from the etc scal is in, so the new stuff is in. If you think in this time there will be some new bash RC, which probably there will be, but you don't need to do a guess. You can check if these two guys are different, compare. You need to do a CB, simple as that. Of course we made new stuff. There's upspade and update, all the things I miss when I type, but up all is not working. I didn't know. So up all was not found. I mean, sure, because this is the one that works, bash RC works, and latest is just a file like any other. So what we need to do is actually a CB, control find. Let's see if I know CB already. CB is known to work, but there's a new CB out. You see? This is a completely other different CB. A little bit text more in the end. So in this case, I would do it manually. Do a Control A, Control C, go to the left side, which is the bash RC, Control A, delete, Control V, Control V, right? Now the bash RC and the bash RC latest are exactly the same thing. The only thing I need to do if I don't want to boot up and log on and log off and all that, because videos, right? Then you source this thing, source -rc, and then you reload whatever it's inside -rc, and now I can do a cp. Now he gets it, what's a cp. Now he gets what's an upall, because that's something else we have to do. Upall, let's go back up and also do some things, some extra things. Control C, Control C. Any video that I make is interesting, and I see something interesting to explain. OB menu is fixed, that's good. This is something that we've learned last week or so. I think it's quite early that we've done that, we've learned that. We don't want that on our systems anymore. So Vivaldi, I don't know if I can show you that. Let's see if I can. YouTube, anything but YouTube, please. Close other tabs, and then ArcoLinux, filter on for today. Going to here, and I want to see the very, very latest, not this one.
Welcome. This is a very special occasion.
Okay, so this one is working at the moment. Okay, fine. I can't prove my point, but what we need is to get rid of that. Sudo pacman. In the coming ISOs, I'm going to remove this package, the Vivaldi codecs. We don't need this to see our videos. What we do need, of course, is a new Vivaldi. Maybe it was in there, I don't know, haven't seen it. Well, we can still scroll up. Yeah, there is a new Vivaldi in. So, okay, let's get the update in. The rest can be installed. Okay, the rest is okay. We had a little issue with PAMAC AOR, so with the new updates coming from the maintainer for this package that's coming from Manjaro, everything works again. And like I told on the forum, we don't need PAMAC. We don't need it. So there's a nice icon. I can click it anyway, anytime I want. It won't open, right? So there was an issue with, I don't know what, doesn't matter. There was an issue, but I don't need it. It's interesting to find out the files, what package contains, etc., etc. But everything can be done in the terminal. PAMAC is a front end, a GUI interface to what's going in the back end, going on there. So it's a nice to have, it's not a must. And that's what I said on the forum as well, to make it clear to people, hey, so PAMAC is not working for a day or two. So what? Just wait for the maintainer to fix it, and we'll get an update. And it's still free, you know, and it's still, you still get the work done, just with updating. Simple as that. Just type update and up all and done. And maybe a scale from time to time and a CP. Anything like this can be rechecked on ArcoLinux.com. I do not think anything will be popping up or anything. Well, we never know. That's why we make these videos. It always comes up something and we can teach something, right? We are at a certain version. If you don't like the version, again, this is not important. If there's version 18, 12, etc., you still have an up-to-date version. It's a number that's somewhere in LSB release in etc slash or slash LSB release. That's it. If you don't like it, okay, there's the binary here, the bin folder, and in the bin folder is a lot of fun, but also the stay rolling. So I need to go from this version, that version, and this version. So I just need to go into 2 folders and stay rolling. That's all I need to do. So right mouse click, open folder. We'll see if we can do one thing next to the other, because Pacman, if it's on lock, you can't do anything. But that's that. So I fixed this one already. Now we're at version 19.10, and then we'll go one up to 19.10.11. We do this as one as well, and we stay rolling. And well, here you see the locks, right? So let's do a Control C here, because there can be only one PAMAC doing its stuff. So we wait for this one to stop. This one can be gone. So this guy is working, which means that the other guy can't work. And by the way, Font Manager was not updated at some point in time, and I said, okay, let's get Font Manager Git version, because that was working. And that's why we see here now in this script that Font Manager Git is going to be installed, and up here we see the Font Manager still. In the meantime, I think it's fixed as well, so we can install either. Both work today. So that's what happens, right? It's AUR, it's Arch User Repository. It's coming from Red Hat, it's coming from Ubuntu, it's coming from GitHubs, it's coming from everywhere. And a maintainer like you and me is making a package build so that you can use it on ArcoLinux. And if something breaks in the sense of versions, in the sense of desktops, in the sense of checksums, and of URL, all these things matter in a package build, and then of course it breaks. So if I want to play Vivaldi again, let's see if it still works. I'm not sure if Vivaldi is actually going to play the YouTube now. If the problem just comes when I voila, that's something. All right, that's something we recognize. Let's see if we get the problem now, and let's get the solution in there as well. Close other tabs is okay. We are back at the same page. I did this, then I did that, and I did this, and then we saw some links, and then we get him talking again, and then we say shut up,
I will come,
and then we get the last one. Is it working? That's a problem, right? And there is a resolution to the problem, and there is a video about that, but it never hurts to just run it or say it again. Inside, you change the directory to opt Vivaldi. In there, ls, there are two packages. Just run these two packages. I wonder if I had to do sudo. I suppose that's best. So okay, that's done. Don't look at the answer, don't look at the text. And then the other one is white, fine, and run that one as well. If you go for, let's first do a Control C. If you then do Vivaldi again, you've solved the issue of Vivaldi not playing all the YouTube stuff. The codecs have been fixed. He understands. Oh my god, sorry, but that's a bad copy paste, I guess. We need to go back to the same way as the other two times. Close other tabs. So filter is off. Give me a channel. Shut up again.
I will come.
And a video.
Hi,
So
welcome to a
everything is working.
system.
This is the last video I created with the last possible codecs and everything, so working. So that's your solution for Vivaldi not playing on YouTube.
The new Calamaris
And
hey guy.
by you go. So your system is up to date. Let's run this thing here one time again. This guy, stay rolling. It says remove font manager. Well, yes or no, you decide. Maybe I can keep font manager here. So no. And Xterm goes out on our ISOs. Terminus font is also out on our ISOs. TTF hack is a new font that's in on our ISOs. So that's how you keep rolling, but I don't want the font manager git, so Control C, you're out. I guess my number is now not correct because I stopped it early. Yeah, so that happens if you say you don't want anything. That's obvious because it's all the way back at the end that we change the number. So let's install it anyway. Then we keep the same, exactly the same as the ISO. So there we are. I don't think I forgot anything. We have a beautiful system, nice looking wallpaper, really nice looking. And by the way, maybe I can tell that as well. The wallpaper is changing all the time. Oh my god, right, that's variety. So that's this little application. Don't like it, don't start it, or don't change the wallpaper, or use your own wallpapers. I have a Dropbox with 3000 wallpapers, and I point to the wallpaper, to my Dropbox. So I change this. Do I have a wallpaper Dropbox here? No, it's a rather small partition, so I have not downloaded my 3-4 gigs of wallpapers. But I point to that, and then I want to change every 30 minutes. But if you don't, just don't change here and everything is fine. By the way, you can also do a change just for a day, and I say this wallpaper is for the rest of the day. Because here you see resume regular changes. Oh, sorry, that's another application. Here you have also right mouse click, image, pause and current. So if I like a wallpaper, I say, oh, super wallpaper, that's one for today. Voila, pause and current, and it's the same for the day. And now we're back at 19.11.3, so all up to date, and last check, all the way up to date. Right, great. And there's a package that's flagged out of date, not any problem at all with flagged out of date. It just is a message, and I recommend you do that as well. If you see that there's a package somewhere on the AUR and the maintainer has not seen that there's a new version out, you make an account on the AUR website, you tell flag out of date, and we see it in our EA. It just means it has been reported already, and if and when the person that maintains the package, it's not ArcoLinux, the one that's maintaining it on the AUR will fix it, give it time, and then it will be gone again. It will be updated for sure, and you won't see anything flagged out of date anymore. Right, that's it for me. I have a working system up and running again till today. All right, cheers.